Hey there. So I am in France and I hadn't done a live video in a really long time, and I felt inspired to say hi and tell everyone a little bit about what I've been doing the past 2 months. So I have been on a really exciting adventure. I decided to go on this tour um, that started really, I guess, the end of May. And it started with the German Yoga Festival. And then we went through Copenhagen. I didn't play in Copenhagen, but we stopped off, which was super fun. And then went to Stockholm, Sweden, and we stayed with someone that, like a mutual friend, introduced me to this lovely woman, Sophia Goth, in Stockholm. And she organized a little house concert for me, which was so lovely. And we stayed a few days in Stockholm. So I've been doing this tour thing where I kind of meet up with musicians as I go rather than bringing a whole band with me, which I'm actually really loving. It's a little bit of a, shall I put it, crapshoot in terms of, what you're going to get. But it hasn't really even been a crapshoot. I mean, it could be, but I'd say for the most part, in fact, everyone that I've played with has been excellent. There's been some communication barriers because not everyone has been fluent in English, but it's been really remarkably synchronistic. So Stockholm, I didn't play with anyone locally. I just did a solo thing, which I'm actually finding I enjoy a lot. And it's so fun to chant with people in Europe. Pretty much everywhere I've been, they just chant so loudly. It's so wonderful. They're very excited about mantra music. And then after we went to Stockholm, we went to northern Spain in Galicia, a little town called Santa Comba, which we learned is in an area where people do this, the Camino de Compostela, which we'd never heard of, which, hey, Rain, and hey, Diana, we had to land into an airport at Santiago de Compostela, and apparently this is this pilgrimage that people do that's been happening for thousands of years, I think, and they end up there. So you're supposed to leave from wherever you live and just keep walking, and it takes people months and months and months. And the woman who picked us up at the airport actually and was kind of our concierge and helper and translator, her job is actually to lead people on these excursions. And that festival was really cool. I did not realize that Spain could be rainy. We were in a part of Spain, in the northern part of Spain, that was just across from England. So it was like really gray and rainy. There was some sun too, and we got a little bit of relief, but it was mostly just very moist and, humid and gray, which was funny because I'd only ever been to Spain, and for me it's like sunny Spain, especially in the summer. So that was cool. It was very verdant, very green. A lot of the produce is produced in that area because it rains so much. And that concert was just out of this world. First of all, I was the headliner for this whole festival, which is a first for me. Yes, a first. And I got to play with this just incredible guitar player who was the coordinator's partner, and also an excellent tabla player who was actually from India but lived in Spain and had kids who were Spanish. And so that band just worked out really wonderfully. And the venue was just really gorgeous. There were about maybe like 300 people that came, to the concert that started at 10 p.m. because everything in Spain happens crazy late. And yeah, so that was a wonderful experience. Then I got to teach a yoga class the next day, which was fun and intense. And I realized how amazing it is to have, I'm using your word there, Rain, thank you. I realized how amazing it is to have a good translator. That's very key when you're trying to, communicate with words. And then if you don't have an amazing translator, to just chant because the having poor translation is not serving. Anyway, so at least it felt like that to me. But I think we communicate. I think we communicate in deeper ways than in language anyway. And I'm just very used to relying on talking, I think. So it's been a good lesson for me. And then after northern Spain, we went to Portugal, and that was just for fun. A lot of this has been for fun. We've been having fun as we go, you know, obviously too, but there was no gig in Portugal. And we stayed in Lisbon in 2 places. That was a little bit more of an adventure because the Airbnb that we booked was right next to the airport. And it was very noisy, so I made my husband and family move, which ended up being great because we ended up in the old town, which I liked better anyway. And after Lisbon, let's see, after Lisbon was a super magical time of the tour because we took a bus into Seville, which was a beautiful city that I wish I had gotten to spend more time in, and I will in the future. And yeah, you're part of my video. That's okay. Here, so I'm gonna stop for now, and I'll call that my little what do we call update. And I wish you all a great life. Bye. Non, c'est pas grave.
C'est parce que je voulais en fait changer les bras et laver pour pouvoir les changer parce qu'on n'a pas de double.
Yeah. Non, c'est pas grave.